So I welcome you all, the educators and all the viewers on this session, which is focused on blended learning. Myself, Deepika Malik. I had been PGT Economics and then I had taken to administration, and presently I am associated with AIEF. I thank Mr. Matthews for providing us with this platform where we can share our views. And of course, I thank all of you who have taken out time and joined this session. I would like to tell you that recording of this session will be available from the AIEF platform. And towards the end of the session, I would be posting a feedback link. And I request all of you to please pour in your feedback and collect your e-certificates. Now, here I begin with my session. We all know that this pandemic 2020 has changed. It has posed to be a challenge for all the educators all over the world. And it has definitely changed a lot in the education sector. In spite of the challenges, we have found new innovations and new ways of studying and teaching and learning. We have discovered a lot in this through our technology and technological upgradation, which wouldn't have been possible otherwise. Maybe in this 1.5 years, we have come so ahead, so at par with other countries in terms of technology. I hope you all agree with this. And all of you being in the education sector, you all have been coming across and adopting the newest and the latest styles and latest apps and latest resources associated with technology. And my today's topic, blended learning, most of you are already into it. I just wanted to share my knowledge, whatever I found and I came to know, and I just discovered that this is a topic which is very much relevant in today's time. So I selected this topic, and to make you aware of certain things, maybe we share with each other and we get to know more. So that is my purpose. Now, to add with this pandemic situation, the NEP, which came along, it has been a catalyst to it. The NEP also is focusing on the learner-centered education. And so is our newest technological resources which we are using. They have become more of student-centered rather than teacher-centered or subject-centered. So the student being the most important resource is now being focused on, and all the resources, all the activities, all the apps which we are using are being done to improve the learning, to improve the whatever teaching is being done, is being undertaken by all of us. So I begin my session. Before that, I would like all of you to see a video, a short video on this, and then I'll proceed with the concepts. Yeah. Can you? I hope all of you can see.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Using how to.
So just an introduction of the blended learning. I think it makes the point very clear that blended learning is not just the technological inputs, it's alignation, it's a combination of the two, the online class as well as the offline classes as well as the online material. So it's not just brick and mortar, but along with brick and mortar classroom, we need to incorporate the technological resources. Whatever we are teaching offline, whatever we are teaching in the class has to be in sync with the online material. So whatever online resources or whatever we are giving, that has to be there. So with this short video, to give you a brief idea, I would further take that blended learning is just it's a combination of face-to-face teaching, face-to-face learning, and along with it, the use of online resources as per the student's convenience and at the student's pace, path. There's no restriction of time or location or pace or path. So in that context, I would say that the traditional methods which we were using earlier prior to NEP or prior to pandemic, we were using traditional method of teaching, and along with it, we were using the additional resources apart from the teaching. Basically, the teaching was in the classroom. In that classroom teaching, I would now like to share with you my PPTs, along with which I'll be giving the explanations. Yeah. Here I begin with my PPT, and along with it, I'll be giving you the explanations, the clarifications. Now, blended learning, as I just said, it's an instructional methodology that combines face-to-face communication and information communication technological mediated activities, that is ICT mediated activities. Now, earlier, prior to our this pandemic, we were doing the traditional teaching. Physically, we were present in the class, we were using pen and paper and whatever. We were using resources, we were using the technology, we were using the smart classes for certain as an aid, as a help. And blended teaching now, the new normal is now a wider access to education material and information, more available channels and tools for communication as well as collaboration, and it gives a personalized kind of learning for students. That means in blended teaching, when we are teaching a topic, that topic has to be supplemented with some or the other online resource. It can be different resources, it can be further, I'll be talking about them also. And how do we impart these blended learning techniques? Now, if we go theoretically, we'll read about it that there are various models which are used to impart blended learning. Of the 6-7 models which we go through theoretically, out of those 3 ones are most important ones. One is station rotation, another is flipped classroom, and the third is flex model. Though it's not mentioned here, I'll come to these points just after explaining the 3 models, which I'm not going to talk much in detail. Now, the station model, flipped model, and flex model are the 3 technically things where station model says that within the classroom, the student is given an opportunity to either attend to the teacher, and it can he or she can switch over to the online material, who can work on the project simultaneously. I mean, one after the other. That is, he can rotate between different stations. In flipped classroom, it is the reversal. Rather than teacher explaining, let's say that student is given an opportunity to share and speak on certain topic. And from there, the concept is further explained by the teachers. And in flex model, it is the students who are studying online they are off campus and they are teaching and collecting material online. And then they have the teachers always, wherever possible, whenever possible, to help them and support them in their studies. So in that is called flex model, where the teachers are not exactly physically present, but they can always be there online to help the students. Now, the more practical ones and more realistic ones, which we people can carry on with our schools, with our classes, with our students, are these 6. These are the ways actually how we can implement, how we can impart blended learning. The flipped classroom means the classroom, it has a 2, 3, 4 approaches where students can be given the opportunity to speak on the topic. And then if student is able to speak, that means his thinking skill is inculcated, it's developed, and from there he can just share it in the class, and the teacher can further explain that concept to the entire class. It can be any gifted child who has the caliber to explain. Now, and in this case, I can also give an example. Like I am a teacher of economics, so I can give in that banking topic is to be explained. Suppose banking topic has to be explained. The teacher can ask the students to visit a bank and collect or just gather the information that what kinds of deposits are being made available by the bank, what kind of deposits they offer, what is the banking function. Or they can just be shared a video which tells about the functions of the banking prior to the class. So once the children have seen that video, then next day when the class is there, they can the students can share about their experiences, and then from there the concept is explained, and the teacher easily can explain the concept, because by now the students have studied about the banking, they know a little, they have an idea about the concept. So it facilitates learning, it helps the children to learn, to think, to feel, and to do something. So that is what flipped classroom is. Then video lectures, recordings, podcasts, again are helpful in enabling the students to understand the concepts. They are very helpful. The lectures can be shown either through the this online classes, they can be shown, and this way the students can get to know from there. Another thing, to bridge the gap between academia and the outside world, right? The guest lectures are of utmost importance. Now, any guest lecture can be organized online or in the class. The entrepreneurs, the engineers, the IPS, the doctors can be invited, and they can deliver the lectures to the students. Thus, students become aware of the practical aspect of the profession, which they do not understand otherwise. So that is of great help. Then the recorded videos, demonstrative videos, somewhere somebody has made a visit to a monument, the video has been recorded. Somebody has gone to some industry, and there they have recorded a video of the processes of, let's say manufacturing of a bicycle, anything like that. That recorded video can be shown to the students to make them understand the process of, let's say any manufacturing unit, like that. So that will make the understanding of the concept will be made easier. Now, in this regard, another thing is the teachers' webinars. The webinars which teachers are attending are also helpful. We grow when we share our knowledge. We grow when we learn from each other. So webinar of the teachers also are a great help, because teachers get to know what other teacher is doing in any part of the world, any part of the country. So they can implement that knowledge which they've learned from somewhere in providing it to their students. Then comes the project work. The project work also is of great help. In this also we can use the traditional class learning and obviously the online. The project work is assigned to the students. The students do the work on their own in their homes, and when they have already collected the information. They are made to align, they are made to come together either online or in the classroom. And then they share and coordinate their facts, whatever they have collected, and compile them together into form of a project. And then the concept understanding becomes easier. The next thing is, just 1 minute. Now, another, before I speak on the next slide, I would just say that in addition to these whatever ways I have been telling, there are certain tools which I would like to mention can be used, like Mentimeter and the quizzes for the interactive learning of the students. Then there is Flipgrid and Padlet, which can be used for providing the assignments and the responses. And then there's another very interesting app, that's Google Earth, which can be used by the social sciences teacher to make the class and to make the facts more interesting, because it provides a 360-degree view and a virtual tour or virtual tour of any particular place or monument, and that can be shown to the students when certain topic of that has to be undertaken. Now, the blended learning is definitely beneficial for the teachers and the students as well. It allows teachers to be more flexible in their teaching, because students learn at their own pace. And when they learn at their own pace, the teachers can give personalized attention and see that the child learns. I mean, the teacher is always there to support, to help the child, and the child learns at their own pace. So with this, at times the teacher is able to have access to various resources, and then these methodologies which it is using, it can even use more resources, and it can prepare more tools and make the learning easier and interesting for the students. Teachers are able to connect more to the students. They can communicate more, they can support them in their learning, and this way they can even whenever it is at the students are free. I mean, it's through blended learning, the learning can be done 24/7. So always they can communicate, the teachers can communicate, they can connect with the students when and wherever they are. Then more resources, the updated learning resources are there, which the students with the teachers can use for grading, for interaction, for testing. So many things are there which can be used further and make the teaching learning process very interesting. And if it becomes interesting, it increases learners' engagement. Learning becomes interesting. Various platforms are there. I said the Padlet you use, the quizzes you use, and the Mentimeter you use, they are all going to be very, very helpful. Now, advantages for students also. For students, it's easy access and unlimited access for learning. They can learn whatever. There are no constraints. There's no time constraints. The students can take material, they can take help, online material is available and they can use it. Then support. They connect with other students, with other learning institutions, even when off campus. There is open dialogues between them, and there's a consistency. Please mute yourself. Please participate, because somebody's video, somebody's voice is coming. I request you to please mute yourself. So the peer support, the consistency, the conversation is always there. Peers learn better from each other, as it is said. And this means, again, better learning for the students. Effective learning, the learning is at their own pace. Even the slow learners learn gradually, and they can also come up to a desired level. Independent learning, it promotes independent learning, makes learning more easier and more effective, and the students can focus on more active and meaningful activities as they are guided suitably by the teachers, if they are guided suitably. Another advantage of blended learning is it boosts soft skills. The soft skills, which are very essential, the students learn time management, they develop critical thinking, and they develop team communications. So these all skills are nurtured, and it helps the students to be confident, more confident and more successful. So that's another benefit. And another, last but not the least, is enhanced retention. Obviously, when the student learn through activities and interesting tools are used, the retention is enhanced. The students' thinking and mindset also changes. It incorporates it incorporates new ideas, and it's the technological components definitely makes the learning for a longer period of time. So that's another benefit of the blended learning. So that's how the more personalized experience, they have more freedom to choose, they have good communication skills, and help student prepare for the future. Now, finally, I would say about the must-dos, because we have to take care of the time also. So must-dos, I would like to tell for blended learning, that, as I said earlier also, that the online material should complement the curriculum. It should be in sync, it should align the curriculum. Whatever a teacher is teaching, the online material which she is going to guide them should be in complement to each other. They should be the same. Then it has to be, the material has to be supported by an allocated teacher. A teacher who is well versed, who is an expert in a particular resource, use of resource, should only use the resource. And that resource, whatever she is using, again, should be done appropriately by the teacher for the benefit of the students. Online presentation should be clear and in a structured manner. It has to be done properly. Either you are using videos, or you are using the lectures, or you are using this recorded video, or you are showing a demonstrative video, whatever you are showing, or if even if you're making a PPT of your concept, of your topic, then it has to be done. If either one or two things are to be incorporated, they should be presented in a very, very clear and a structured way. Then mixed use of tools can be there. As I just said, webinars can be used, lectures can be shown, videos can be shown, quizzes can be shown. All the things which make teaching interactive and interesting must be adopted for a successful and positive blended learning. Then most important is the regular checks and personalized feedback by the teacher of the students. This is very essential, because until and unless you take up the feedback, you won't be knowing that the resource which you are using is actually giving the benefits or no. And then appreciation and acknowledgement is also must for everyone, not even for blended learning, otherwise also. The appreciation and acknowledgement for the students, whatever work they are doing, has to be, it should be undertaken. It is must, rather, I should say. So that's all about the blended learning, which I wanted to tell you, that it is the future. It is going to stay. The things are going to stay. And thankfully, we have come a long way. We have moved ahead from this technological era, and this blended learning is there to stay. And we have to gear up. We have to gear up to be with it. So I would sum up by saying that my efforts to reach you about the blended learning and a little idea which I wanted to share with you all would be of help to you, although you all are well versed and you all are already implementing the things. I hope you would benefit from it. If any question,
May I ask?
yeah. Before
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I missed the first 15 minutes of the session. So just wanted to connect with it. Was it at all about the advantages of blended learning, right?
Yeah, it was first, it was for the ways to impart blended learning, how you can use it. And then I talked about the benefits for the teachers and for the students. In the beginning, I had shown certain video, and that's it. So I would share I would just share the feedback form, and hope you all will give your feedback, honest feedback, and then your certificate will be there. And anything you want to ask, you can please.
Yes, ma'am. Just one more thing. Ma'am, will this recording be shared with us?
Yeah, this recording will be available on the AIEF platform via Mr. Matthews. Yeah, it will surely be available.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a question. Good evening, myself Harmeet. I
Yes.
just wanted to know the whole concept of blended learning. Also, somewhere it's a very thin line between hybrid learning and blended learning, or
Yeah.
are they two distinguished statements?
No, they are slightly different. They are different, no doubt. In hybrid learning, it's all only about the resources. Much of the resources are to be talked about. And in blended learning, we talk about the resources, we talk about the online issues along with our face-to-face communication. It has to be blended with that. That's it. We have three.
Ma'am, how about
Yes, ma'am, please.
how about flipped learning? What is flipped learning and blended learning go hand in?
Just a minute, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Can you please repeat your question?
I was asking, is flipped learning and blended learning the same?
No. Flipped learning is just a part of the blended learning, ma'am. In flipped learning, we give opportunity to the students. Actually, we begin with the students. We either give them some video, or we ask them to speak on a topic. We just give them any random topic related to the topic which we have to explain them. Right? So the child will think about it. What is it related to their life? And when they speak about it, say one child will speak, two will speak, three will speak, and gradually when they'll speak, then they'll get to understand that, okay, now we are going to learn about this topic. So then the teacher introduces the topic in the class. So that means the child have understood that we are going to talk about this. This is what flipped learning is actually.
So it's a flipped learning is a part of blended learning.
Yes.
What you
Yes. Any more questions? Till we have 2-3 minutes more before we end up the meeting, and I've sent the forms to you, please. You can take it. And anyone else? So I think no more questions. So can we just wind up with the meeting?
Thank you, ma'am. It was nice.
Okay.
A good learning.
Okay, then. Thank you, everyone, for your valuable time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It was a short and very
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am.